this magnificent thunderous rapids is a sight to behold during peak monsoons. Rong'kusi Dare happens to be right there on the side of the road near Jengjal village, about 30 kilometers from Tura. Quite accessible, and perhaps that's why it attracts a lot of visitors. I was fortunate to be able to enjoy its beauty and not have too many people around in the early hours.
What's up everybody? Welcome to an episode on exploring Garo Hills. I am excited to be sharing bits and pieces of Garo Hills with you, the place I proudly call home. Today we'll be exploring places around Songsak, a little corner tucked away in East Garo Hills. And we have made our first pit stop here in Rong'kusi Dare. So come on everyone, let's go on today's journey.
Garo Hills is blessed abundantly with a lot of green coverage. The roads are covered on either side with natural beauty, and it makes the rides that much more enjoyable. Also, who doesn't want fresh, unadulterated air?
So guys, we're almost reaching our first destination in Songsak called Darang Aphal, and although from this divergence Songsak falls on the left, we are however still going to go on the Williamnagar highway because that is much closer to our first destination. So let's go!
One cannot go without food when lunchtime rolls around. So we decided to stop in Williamnagar market to grab some delicious traditional lunch.
So from Williamnagar, the road is not as smooth till our destination, although it's much shorter. We are coming about say 3-4 kilometers worth of rural roads, but that is where the adventure is, right? So we are almost approaching our destination now.
The bumpy ride made for an even more exciting adventure. I knew that this place would be a pristine and untouched beauty simply because the roads were that much broken.
Finally reached our village destination of Darang Aphal here in Songsak, and it is quite a quaint little village, but I'm most excited about conquering the little hill which has held so many stories, and I'm eager to find out more about it. So come, let us talk to the villagers and learn more about the hill.
The village was small, perhaps made up of maybe about 30 households only. The warm smiles of the villagers immediately made me feel welcomed.
Yeah. Abrini gaman aro ya songni gaman angna golporang kon akanat naman gen ma maina mengsengaira.
Oh man gen ba. Ya ko mengse abri ko mengsengani den dakyong ma. Khangmode ya abri rang khara ring bri thakraka dengni se mangachmro. Dai mena mi jamano ring bri thakraka dengni adeng gabara che maba khang agar sakne si chengba bon chengpa megam gairi phat kersingeri phani siani jamano wa megam gairi phat kersingeri phan me mang ongi mangna abriunar ibanaro
acha
nage mangas ketari angesa ani phla jungle ketari angechi mandati ketari angesa wa maba 소팽한티 제 살랑아 송어 그다리 양에서 안더니 반사회 그다리 바나 안달게서 안더니 반사회 그다리 바이사 아와 말바 나철만 덮을 막았다 이
얘가 뭐가라 비압니 비멍마
비압니 뭐에 비압니 비멍 안달게서 릉릉브리 다카가등 아니 그 누나 이반을 줬구나. 니 망랑사. 누나 차나 송동나님. 안다키사 누 동아 마마사니 카베라 다사니 녹판티 잠생 동아 따오바. 안다키명
예시앙가 빠랑니.
왜? 누나 안다키명 바 망콘 수이사 동아 마마사라 카베라 다사라 바치나리 잉아 님명 승하나 줬구나. 공아 님명 고급바. 나이 민와라 유나사 파가 참으랑 알아 슬랑 아브리치된 뭐 동아 먹고 인가 만드시 태 낚인가 건님은 비비를 안 알아 뭐 동아 먹고 줬고디 만드시 텔라야나 은이 그면서가 롱도가 절치도 옹암 고족고대 만디시아 니면 강원님 미아판 비비라 나그셔 누운데 봤사 바릉릉브리 탁그라가 등네 멍아 이야코라 은이 자만우사 야 슬랑 아브리 니 멍아 이치 마치 볼다 카람 그냥 미만 계랑 온람 그냥 나그 이나 멍싱아
Acha. Ya machu boldak karam yara da o siang gapani no ni janggidong gaparang nin kachakram ni bebera ma.
오에 낙긴 비비라
미숑아니 너 동행아니
와 미망랑한 맞축 하나 당당날 수앗 그바 갈랏 그바 모앗 그바 뭐큰 은우나 모바이 카이도나 나로
Ya sama golpo demo.
안다게문나 미자콜 와 미자콜라라 아코 닥칭오 지콩 아칭오 안마 몽시카 그잖아 파탈마스 그잖아 은우무땡 공화 마마사 공사다 사사 남측탕 거름 버티 아착망세 살버티 웬나나 아그sak나 아그 아니 기특비나 웬나나 저거나 나기사 은호 냉탁가 자냉탁기 아송듬미 은호사 비자콜 나빠고 느까나 저거나 은호무땡데 다시 아가나 그다 안마 그잖아 바탈마스 그잖아 안마 몽시카 그잖아 안마 줄줄줄조 바탈마 릉르릉르 약간 비티나네 은호사 공화사 아다사서 공사 마마사서 톡하나도 공항 톡하나도 거나 안다기세 다우데 도기식장 하나 월라 생창 하나 다우번 크행아
카마 타산 모데 게와 비숑 추이사 클럭밖에 동
왜 비숑사 추안나도 거나 와 비자콜 거라 인다기세 다우나 속 야노 뭉승 받급바 강급바간 미망케론람 롱도가 조사장 받더라 근니급바 비자콜 치른 납카밍급바 완다kin mengsingang ni gamen dauna kita kan selang ni dauna sok mengsinginga.
So we have heard from the elder, and what he has told us is something so spectacular that the mythology and the stories that continue on and that is based on, the village is based on these stories. It's just amazing. So what he has told me is that back in the days when the gods and goddesses and men mixed together, when they lived together, one of the demigods, when he passed away, he came back. He was living in this village and he passed away, and he came back and took shelter in the hillock. And when the villagers went up there, they could see signs of living out there, the signs of the spirit, and that's how they believed that from then onwards, whoever passed away, the spirits would come and reside in that hillock. And that is why till this day they believe that this was the original Balpakram, or the land of the spirits. So we shall go and explore the various places where we can see signs of, living of the spirits back in those days, and we shall see for ourselves how far these stories are true. Let's go.
And so we started on our trek up the hills.
Yara mai biap?
Yako rongchol mga.
Mai ni gaman ni rongchol ni agana?
Ya gemukchan ni, ndai rama takaba dongcha iasan rama takaba ni gaman kude rongchol mga ya.
Acha.
Rama ki isasan nga ni gaman. Gemukan rina namja iasan.
Iasan rina namaya mo. Ni gaman rongchol ni agana mo rong techi doga chol dakchenga ni gaman. So this spot right here, they call it Rongchol in Garo because according to the topography around, this is the only area through which you can enter the place where we are heading to right now, the Balpakram of Songsak. And since it's made of rock, hence the word Rong is there. And then Chol stands for gateway, and hence we are entering the gateway to the Balpakram of Songsak.
I was honestly looking forward to seeing the land of the spirits. For that, we had to trek uphill of about half a kilometer to our first level land, the football field.
We have trekked quite a bit from the village up this hillock, and what a surprise awaited us here. There is actually a football field up here on this hill where the villagers come here probably every evening to spend some quality time. Maybe I might just join them this evening.
The forest added so much mystery to the stories told by the villagers. We reached the waterfalls which we could see from the village. It looked so small from way down there.
This waterfalls is known as Chidorerap, and it happens to be right here overlooking the village, and you can have a spectacular view of the village from up here. And in the ancient Garos, they believe that out here there is a cave down there where they believe that the roots of the trees are formed in such a way that it seemed like those are the skeletal remains of the gods and goddesses or of the ghosts who lived here before they moved away. And Garos believe in mythology so much so that there's always some hint of truth in what they believe in. And they believe also that this place used to be infested with eagles or doreraps, which would cry out before the death of anyone in the village, hence warning the villagers of a death that is just coming up.
After about 15 minutes, we then reached Nolma, and it made for a great viewpoint. Vast expanses of paddy fields could be seen from way up here.
야노 맞추고 뒀나? 어. 이노 잘하면 비신데 보나 이쪽 뭐. Diba, and then nari ka pan chidere ekat naman jajok mo bindi chini ba play ha. Cholsa saan mo. There is something like a naturally built shed for cows out here, because a lot of villagers bring up their cows to graze in these hillsides, and there is a way from there where there is just one way in between the rocks where the villagers can, or the shepherds can bring in their cows, and once the cows are let in through this graze to this field, they are no longer able to escape this area because there is no other entry or exit apart from that place where they came through from. So once they are caved in or tied in with the bamboo, there's really no place for them to go, and it makes shepherding that much easier for the villagers.
Walking through through the forest meant coming face to face with some of nature's deadliest creatures, and I was not too excited about that, but it is their home.
We're almost about to reach Balkol now, the place where it's a place of perpetual wind, where the wind never ceases to blow, come what may, whatever season it is, and that is why this is known as Balkol. Remember, there is one even in the currently existing Balpakram in South Garo Hills as well.
Water seems to flow out of anywhere and everywhere in the mountains. This was Wakabu Falls, short, not too dangerous, and children friendly too. It provided some much needed shade with the big banyan tree and some really cool breeze. Brooks, streams everywhere. It reminded me of Lord Alfred Tennyson's poem where the brook said, "I go on forever." It really did. And I hope that it would keep going on forever.
For anybody who wants to take up this trek, it might feel like you're walking through dense forests, but it is surprises like these which nature keeps in store for us that makes the trek absolutely worth it. I mean, look at this place. It's absolutely breathtaking in the middle of the forest that you will never imagine. It looks like something right from out of the novel. And we are heading now to another location, but I think I'm going to stop and take time to smell the flowers.
The situation of the rocks in the middle of the forest almost seemed like it was placed in a circular setting for a meeting or something, and it also made for a nice resting spot to catch our breath before we continued on with the trekking.
may chisa.
Yan kango wakrang daimong awironganam. Awirorongani kaman segade wakabu ni mga.
Dao ba ukhui nga may no bisho?
Dade jajok kango sa awironga.
Kango
sa chirang de dao ba khamoai nga.
Howe. Acha dao ro din kadong jaha mo.
Ro de katong jajok.
All this while we've been walking upstream and we've crossed some really breathtaking views of the river flowing downstream. And here is the origin of that stream. That stream is known as the Wakabu Chirung or the Wakabu stream, wherein the name was derived from the fact that in the olden days wild boars used to come and bathe here, and that is why the water is still murky till this day, and you can still see some remnants of the wild boar hair. But according to the locals who live here, they no longer come here to take bath anymore.
On the first day of our trek up this hill, we only managed to cover less than half of the hill. I'd definitely be coming back to cover the rest of the hillock. For that day though, I would head back to the village to enjoy the hospitality and rest my weary bones. I hope you enjoyed this trek with me. Until next time, be good, do good, goodbye.